Alright, everyone, welcome. I'm Jimmy Cobra. This is Satisfactory Hardcore, or Death Equals Delete, or One Life Challenge. We're going to continue on where we left off time. Last time on Satisfactory. We had got to phase one. Phase one. Um, we are. We finished the research for our research. We finished our power upgrade, the solid biofuel. We got more inventory slots, and we got access to the chainsaw, which we'll make in a little bit. Um, so, bam, bam. Um, these are a lot of times these are the ones I choose first. Logistics is good. We don't quite need it yet. Um, and it'll be easy to make most of as I'm talking, we're making this stuff already, so it's no big deal. Um, Parts assembly. I think this is next. Um, we're gonna want to make this next. The parts assembly. All right, this is whatever, whatever, whatever. These are very useful, and this is useful, but we got time for this stuff, so um, this is our next part. Parts assembly. This is what we're going to need. And up here you can see our objective is to build a space elevator. You're like, why have you built a space elevator here? You've had it for so long. It costs a lot to build, especially that 1500 copper. Um, we'll get that. That will come. But for right now, we don't need that yet. This is the one that we'll probably build next, the ma'am. The this is our molecular analysis machine. I'm sorry, analysis machine. We just need to make some reinforced plates. So true. If you're like, why isn't there that annoying sound? I turned it off. I turned it off. I turned off the annoying sounds. Loud noises. Alright, so we could easily make this now. I like to kind of put everything kind of like right next to each other. Kind of, save space. We'll need the space in the future. Don't need that anymore. Alright, stuff. And stuff. Alright, we're just gonna start doing some research while parts are cranking. Awesome. So I believe these just make these things scannable after we research them. So we got scannable power objects. This just lets us make power shards. That will allow us to get power shards from them and then scan them and then overclocking. We don't quite need that yet. Quartz is very important to get. Silica is one of those things that will want to. This is where it is. This is where it's at right here. There's some other things like this that's really good. The rebar stuff I don't get into yet. Um, and then sulfur. Right, experimental power generation. Yes, please. That will be some time. Black powder. So this leads to like a better coal, basically. We'll get there. We'll get there. We don't need it quite yet, so we're gonna put away that stuff. We'll put that away and that away. I don't think I need the pale berries right now. Well, I have the nuts. All right. We're just gonna churn some. We're just gonna make some biomass real quick. Get that making solid biofuel. It's so useful. It's just so useful. Just keep feeding the beast. Right. Cranking out these machines. We're probably gonna make another one. We're gonna add some more lines. We're gonna expand out our capabilities. Remember, grab as you go. Go. Sometimes these bushes and stuff will hide like a rare material. That might have just run out of power. That's wonderful, wonderful. All right. Always be grabbing stuff. While we're waiting for things to make, we got the cable. I We just want to kind of collect some more stuff that we can. This is limestone. That's fine, that's fine. There's more limestone over here with quartz. See, like, these are always here. I know that these are here. These are random. Sometimes this is quartz, sometimes this is coal, sometimes it's different stuff. Right? We got lucky. There's 2 rando mines here of like goods that we need for further research. Quartz you kind of need a lot of. I do know where some quartz stuff is to eventually mine. Alright, first artifact. It's right in here. Alright. Those things hurt early on. All this is wood, and all this is good. Things to take note of in this. Those dudes shoot stuff. Those grow up to be giant poison clouds. So you don't want that. Our first Mercer Sphere. I don't know if there's anything in the game yet for these things. So I collect them and set them aside. I don't know if they've been... We just want to grab all this because all this will restore eventually. I just like to come over here every once in a while, just grab all this stuff. It's so good. So we get our first artifact. There are some more that I know of. It's just, I try not to... There's, you know, usually there's stuff in there, over there. Let's go check on... You need special equipment to go into that. We need to basically collect enough biofuel to sustain us until we get to coal. And the coal's pretty far away. In game time, we're looking at like maybe definitely a few hours. So this is the good stuff right here. We're saving that. This isn't good stuff. That's impure. I thought that was pure. Also impure. Alright. So, as before I said, impure basically like when you're mining something, it only like mines one thing at a time. so it's generally not good to try to split. It's generally not good to try to split impure stuff. It just can't make at a decent rate. And that's all good for right now, because all we need them to do is kind of like crank out single parts. That's it. So if we look at our wheel, we got a whole bunch of stuff now, and that was because of like that's behind us. It's right over there. Ooh, another one way over there. Yep. That one is, I think, on one of those things over there, on one of those pillars, and then the other one is back over here. Ooh, really far away. And Caterium kind of acts as like a substitute for copper. Right, I think we have.
Milestone reached. More complex assembly of parts can now be automated. Project assembly parts can now be constructed and sent up via the space elevator. Note: project parts are too complex to produce by hand.
Right. We need to make 4 more miners. What do we need? We need iron rods. We're just gonna crank out a whole bunch of iron rods here. All right. There's the modular frame. So what we're going to do is we're going to add to our electric grid some more power. We're going to need probably 2 more power stations. That's why I grabbed a whole bunch of leaves and wood. There was a method to my madness. We're going to take all this. And we're going to swing it into the thing and let that make biofuel while we're setting up this other stuff. Hello, birds. You can put that away. Put the quartz away. Um, these are so good. 50 silica, 10 modular frames. Right. We're actually pretty far on all our stuff here. Alright. Just cranking out some research here while we wait for our pod to return. Oh, that's what I call pod racing. Alright, miners. Alright, this is the logistics. This is the next one that we need. Um, I need a moment. I remember now. So we need reinforced iron plates, which is basically plates and screws, and rotors, which are rods and screws. All right. All right. Pretty quick power through here.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge, split, and lift to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. We encourage you to consider more verticality when it comes to factory logistics to streamline short the productivity to split.
All right. So if you set up correctly, going through these next few tiers will be kind of easy because you'll have all your parts being made that they're going to ask you for. You're going to have your iron rods, you're going to have your plates, you're going to have your screws, right? That was the first things I had set up, and then the copper wire and the concrete, right? So part of it is, getting the proper setup, and then going and farming some more energy, right? So that you have biofuel to kind of keep everything going. in the meantime, right? So I have some stacks, right? And even as I'm going, I'm still collecting because we do have some. Right, we're gonna need this, so I'll just grab that out of there like that. And then I just occasionally check to see where we're at. I can make a split. Bam. Just like that. Just like that. The next thing is this, which we need rotors, reinforced plate, and cable. Alright, so need to come back over here and check on our copper. Need to go up on this side of the hill maybe. It's good. So over in that area, there's a lot more resources, and then off in that direction is oil and stuff like that. So we're not there yet. Um, my name is Jimmy Cole. So a lot of it is, getting things building and then playing the waiting game. But while you're playing the waiting game, you should be collecting goods. All right, we can do our next research. All right, so we got base building. Yeah, we'll do this one. All right, as you can see, since we set this up, we're going to cruise right through some of these really fast. Base building is kind of important because it's going to allow us to go to places
Milestone reached.
that
We have
we
unlocked
couldn't
several
really
structures
get
aiming to
to on
provide
our
the
own.
first needed to build basic factory infrastructure and improved overview. Building these will provide a grid for more advanced organizing and sectioning of your factory.
Yes, my factory. And one of the things that you can do is you can kind of like, let's see here. Right, I could put like foundations under all this stuff. Or I could put like I could make this all like gray and all that stuff. That's not what I usually do. I like to keep the greenery. I don't want to take away the plants. Okay. So we got another minute. I'm going to come up on this hill and just kind of grab as much junk as I can. I know over in that area there it can get kind of spicy with some creatures. Sometimes you can find like hidden caves with goodies in them and stuff like that. This water is very important because you kind of need water for your coal factories. If you never know where your base is, it says on your thing right there. You can just kind of point and run. Just make sure you don't run off an edge and die. Just run and grab, run and grab. We're ready for the next thing to be made. Oh, wrong one. Alright, so we finished off tier 1. Alright, so that one's gonna be last. This one could be next. Yeah, those two are gonna be last. Alright. All right, I just grabbed that because I know I have all the material for this one. All right. All
Milestone
right.
reached. You have been given early access to the anti-waste effort for stress testing of materials on exoplanets bonus program. Funneling parts into the awesome resource sink. Examples go that
All right. So we have the awesome sink and the awesome shop. Um, we're just gonna. We got ramps, foundations, walls, that kind of fun stuff. All right. So this time we were able to clear the rest of tier one. That's the base building, the logistics. We finished this yesterday, and then we did parts and the sync program. So a lot of things we got done today. For Satisfactory, as you can see, we kind of got this going. Next time, I'm going to show you assemblers. Assemblers are the next episode assembly. All right, we got, and the way I set this up was that I have a screw line and a plate line, and over here I have rods and I have screws. Why did I set it up this way? Well, when we look over here, the things that we're going to need are rotors. Duk duk. That's these things. So that's rods and screws, and then reinforced plates. Okay, that is screws and plates. Okay, so over here I'm going to have an assembler right over here, and that's going to make my rotors. Then I'm going to over here I'm going to have an assembler, and that's going to make um, my reinforced plates, and then over here I'm going to have another assembler, and those are going to make the computer plating. Okay. Um, is it steel and rods that make the reinforced armor? Let me see here. The modular frames are reinforced plates and iron rods. So the other reason why I kind of put the reinforced plates over here is because I can come over here and use this. I can use these two over here, go this way, and that way I can make an assembler with the modular ones. Okay. Since these are all impure, it's not worth trying to split this into that. It's just better to keep straight lines um, because of. Can you see the gap in between this? Like if this was normal, there would be like two here, two there, two there. If it was pure, this whole line would be just solid. Like you wouldn't see any gaps at all. Okay, and that's kind of the difference. So starting off early, it's just best to use these one line. We kind of have like a really good starting spot because we have like 6 lines of of iron, and we can make one for this, one for that, one to combine those together, and then one for the modular plates. So that's that's the plan. That's how I set it up. You won't necessarily always find this position starting off a game. You kind of have to. I would say, once you play it a few times, you know exactly where you are. Um, when it comes down to it, like if you just play the first time and you drop down and you're like, where am I? Where's everything at? It's just about trying to find the resources that are there, using your scanner to find that. Um, we kind of played a couple times through, you kind of, like I said, these do not change. These locations of these things do not change. Okay, these stay the same. Game that from one game to another game to another game. Um, the only thing that changes is like those random little spots of resources that I found. Those change from game to game. Um, they change from type to type and from where they're located and stuff like that. But those always stay the same. These are always here. And once you play the game a couple times, you get so far, you're like, oh, okay, I kind of know where this map is. Like this big arch is the big teller for this map, this part of the map. All right. We get over to this side, we're on a whole nother side of the map. Okay. So just over there by those waterfalls that you saw earlier, that's a different. These maps are all connected, so that's a different area. All right. This area, one of the big key things is this big arch. It kind of like, where are you in relation to this arch? All right, that kind of lets me know where I am and where some of these resources are. All right, I'm Jimmy Cobra. Thanks for watching. Peace.